Okay, what I'm going to do now is, this is my chain tensioner here. I'm going to press this all the way up, and I'm going to tighten it down. What I want is about 3/8 of an inch play up here. So what I'm going to do is just tighten it up as tight as it'll go, because the pad's about ready to be replaced. But I'm going to wait, and I will replace it next time I change my gasket. Don't really have a good angle to put this camera, so I keep bumping into it. There we go, that's more like it. But this needs to be tightened up first, or else you won't be able to get to it with this in the way. So I'm going to turn that to the side. Tighten up my belt. Like I said, 3/8 of an inch right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. One more snug. Something's not matching up. Maybe I have it pushed up so high that, yep, alright, so. Alright, that looks good. So what I realized after letting it sit for about a week was it continuously drips oil, so it's coming from somewhere. I thought it was coming from my transfer valve, but I've been checking it and there's no oil coming from it. So the only thing I can think of is it's the main shaft. So I did buy a new transfer valve, but I'm not going to put it in because for one thing, it's a pain in the butt, and it looks like somebody tried to get this one out at one point and stripped it. So alright, next what I'm going to do is clean out the inside of my primary cover. All them little bugs that fell in there all week long. We're going to clean all that out, get it all nice and clean. Then I'll go ahead and get out some Permatex and the gasket, and we'll get this put back together. Alright, now with a few paper towels, just just gonna wipe all the bugs out of here. I don't know why bugs are attracted to oil, but they are. And be really careful with this here. There's 3 ball bearings in here. You really don't want to mess with it if you don't have to. Alright, that's clean out. Let me grab the gasket, the Permatex, and we'll put her on. Alright, well, I'm back. Just had to stop and get some Permatex. Thought I had some, but I couldn't find it, so I just went and bought some. So, maximum oil resistance, black Permatex. This should work out just fine, I think. Go ahead and get her open. Yeah, I think that's going to work just fine. Alright, I also have some gaskets here. Let's see. This is the one I need right here. I've put on about 100 of these. Maybe not quite that many, but all right, now what I like to do is make sure it's clean right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, you can see all that black right there. That's old Permatex, an old gasket. So I'm just gonna go around with like a little brush and just clean that all up so I can get a nice clean seal around here so I don't have any leaks. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, and I started right here, as you can see, cleaning her all up. It's looking good. I just have to finish her up right here. That little bit right there. All I'm using is a razor blade and a little bit of sandpaper. You just want to make sure when you're doing up here, you put something over your chain. You don't want any of that falling into your chain. So I just use paper towel, works just fine. So we finish this little bit up and we'll go ahead and put the gasket on. All right, so I forgot to turn the camera on, but what you missed was I put the gasket on and then I put another layer of Permatex on the outside of the gasket. Same way I did on the inside. And then carefully I just pushed my cover on. And now I'm just going around and putting some screws in. But like I was going to do earlier, is I'll fast forward this a little bit for you. Alright, the last screw to go in is skinnier, and it's a 5/32 head instead of 3/16. And it goes right down here. I don't know why that one would be different than all the rest. I guess if you know why, put it down in the comments below. Help me understand why just one screw is different. So wait, I'm gonna tighten these up now. is I like to start from the bottom, kind of pinch it, and then it close up. Kind of helps it seal. So since they're already all tight, it's not gonna really pinch it too much. It's just gonna help. I'm gonna make sure all these are snug. Okay, we'll start off with this oddball 5/32 and tighten it down. Alright. Now I'm going to work left, then right, then left, then right, then left, then right, and keep moving my way up until I get to the top here. Like I say in all my videos, there is a specific torque spec that you need to be using. Alright, when I'm all done, I'll check in the book to see what the torque specs are on here, and just make sure that I at least got them torqued down to what they should be. If they're a little over, it's alright with me. Like I said, I've done this many times. Alright, now let's get her. No, we're not going to fill her up with fluid. Now what we want to do is wait 24 hours before we fill it up with fluid. So in that time, I'm going to clean all this Permatex off. And hook my shift lever. I mean, it's a 71 IronHead, so my shifter's on the right. So this is actually my brake. That'll be fun when it's time to put this spring back on. Alright, well that's about it for tonight. Like I said, I'm going to wait 24 hours till tomorrow night when I get home from work. And then I'll go ahead and I'll fill it up with primary fluid. And fire her up, take it for a ride. There's still two more things I need to do, is hook up my brake and hook up my brake spring. That's fun. Oh man, I just realized I forgot my beer. Darn it, it's right there. That's better. Alright guys, so I'm back. It's been a few days. So last night, I forgot to turn on the camera, but I hooked my brake lever back up. And I got this pesky little spring on right here, which is a pain in the butt. If you want to see it done, go back and look at some of my older videos. I've got a pretty good video of me putting it on. think Limp Bizkit's playing in the background. So, all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this drain right here. Surprised it was so loose. Oh, I already loosened it up. I forgot. All right, so I'm going to take that out, and then I'm going to spin this off of here, and I'm going to fill it up with primary fluid until it starts coming out of that hole. Once it starts coming out of that hole, then I know it's full. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so this is the primary fluid that I'm using. Something new I've never used before, but got it from Bubba's Tri-City Cycles. Says it'll work good. Now in the manual it says to use the same grade oil as I use in my oil tank. But when I do that, it doesn't really shift very well for me. When I use this fluid here, it shifts nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to spin that off. As you can see, I have the bike sitting upright, so I've got it sitting on a brick. Alright, now we're going to fill this up until it starts coming out of the drain hole there. Should be about 3/4 of a quart. Let's see if we get a closer look. Alright, there we go. All right, you see that? That's what we're looking for right there. That's how we know it's full. Now we can put the filler cap back on. Put this back in. Yeah, I overfilled it a little bit much, but and it took pretty much this entire quart, minus what came out on the floor there. So, all right, now I'm gonna go ahead and wash her up, get it started, take it for a ride. So I'll bring you along with me when I go for a ride. All right, so I got the primary all done. got some new washes and waxes to try out. We'll get a shot of the bike now. Show you a fast forward video of me putting it all, or me washing it all up. And then I'll get an after video and see how much of a difference it makes. Alright, so got done washing it. As you can see, I used my Milwaukee 18-volt leaf blower to dry it. It worked great. Now I'm going to use this Meguiar's and shine up the chrome and the paint. Get a nice gloss on it. I don't spray it on the bike, I spray it on the rag, because or else there's just too much overspray on other things and it's so hard to get off. So let's give everything a little wipe down. If it leaves a little bit of a white film or finish on it, you just go back over it with a dry rag when you're done and it'll take that right off. Everybody always asks me, what kind of pipes are those? Who makes those pipes? Well, I practically made these pipes. I drew them up on some graph paper, exactly where I wanted them bent. I took them into Terminu Muffler, not too far from us. Gave them the directions of where I wanted them bent, and they bent them for me. And they did a great job. They're 1 3/4 inches. They sound good. No baffles, obviously. All right, let's see if we can clean up this primary cover a little bit more. That's what I'm trying to get clean right there. I had some Permatex on there. I couldn't get it all off. It's getting better. Alright, I think that's good enough for today. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out for a ride. Let's just see how she starts up. Alright, well, it's Tuesday. Just got home from work. Taking a look at the old IronHead. As you can see, it's not leaking at all. Nice and dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up, take her for a ride. Night shift. Running pretty, I was running good, but man, it's in a hard ride. I think I need to let some air out of my tires. Just filled the tires up with air about a month ago, and I put in there exactly what the tire says to put in, but that's probably if you have shocks. Alright, that's that. Definitely tell my rocker box gasket's leaking because it's splattering oil all over my air cleaner. One of the worst roads in Bay City to ride down. And there we go. She running good. Like I said, over the winter, I want to replace the rocker box gaskets. Maybe I'll get around to fixing the main shaft seal. But from what I hear from a lot of old timers, they say it's normal to just drain your primary before you go for a ride. Just take out the filler plug, the level filler plug. Alright, 1971 XLCH Ironhead.